All right. Hey, hello. How's it going? Uh, Back here doing some more editing, getting this film ready. Uh, it's Henry here. Uh, just gonna do a quick session today. I have a talent coming in, getting ready to do some uh, re-recording. What we got on set did not sound very good. There was a lot of background noise happening, and it was very difficult to hear what was being said. And dialogue was kind of rough. So I got talent coming in today. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through, kind of give you a quick rundown or a look see of what all I do to just kind of get a session ready together and all presentable, um, so that when the talent comes in to deliver their lines, this would be a quick and painless ordeal. So we're working with our actor, actress, person of interest, Scout, who will be coming in today. Um, and a few of her lines, in particular, on scenes that were outside, were kind of chaotic. So I'm going through these particular scenes, and just kind of placing marks where we're going to be recording. So right now, I'm currently focusing on Scout's track, and what I'm looking for are these lines in particular. Um, and all I'm going to do is just throw in some blank placeholders. They're just blank clips that don't have any kind of audio or anything, and I'm just throw them in there so we know where we have to go to capture her voice today. And they're just a handful of locations that we need to go through and do. Um, like I said, these scenes in particular were there was dialogue being delivered outside in a very busy environment. Uh, yeah, we want to go ahead and get what we can from that since we pretty much did. Pretty much have done all of these lines, these conversations. Uh, Done them all in ADR just to kind of keep everything under control. Uh, let's see. I'm thinking. Thankfully, our character Isaac is in town, so it's not a big deal to get him in, and have him come record. So there are some spots that we need to redo. It's not a problem. But so far, like I said, we're just going to focus on Scout today. Uh, let's see. So we have our scene where they're talking around a table, and then we have a scene where we're doing a walk and talk. And oops, for those of y'all that are not familiar with the term walk and talk, it is essentially what it sounds like. There are people walking, and the camera person that is filming them is either following them from behind or is leading them from the front. Usually, leading them from the front, they're walking backwards and trying to not kill themselves carrying a camera on their person. Um, and while the camera guy is doing that, the camera person is doing that, uh, the actors are delivering their lines, and essentially trying to make a believable situation out of uh, these amazing tricks and techniques the crew are doing behind the scenes. Let's see. So, I'm just going to go through this scene. Just get all the scout. And for those of you who are wondering, keyboard shortcut to get these blank spots or these blank clips. It's on your Mac keyboard would be Option Shift and then the number 3 along the top number pad. For you Windows users out there, that is Alt Shift 3. And that will plop that sucker down right there. Man, I did not realize Scout had this many lines to deliver, but that's fine. Simple enough. Yep. Mute. Oh, that should be open. Okay, check that. And we'll just get this guy for funsies. Alright, so now that we know all of our places that we need to record, well, I do believe there's at least one more. I feel like it was in a car scene. Let's just go through and double check real quick. That was good. That's what I would love to do since our talent is coming from pretty far away. I'd rather get everything done now as opposed to having to bring her back later, because that would be really not good. Really, really not good. Let's see. Actually, we'll keep you for right now. What happened here? Yeah, there's still some things I need to go through and clean up. Just kind of need to remember when working with others to give guidelines. What should be expected? I don't think I did that very well myself. Well, shame on me. see. I want to say around here. Yes, I believe we need these as well. So this was fine, but these had a lot of car noise. So we're going to get those as well. Okie dokie. So we got that. And I believe the rest of Scout's dialogue is all delivered indoors. So no cars, no trains, no aeroplanes, just regular house noise. Yes, perfect. All right. So now that we have all of our places marked, we'll make sure that we are record enabled. Make sure we're seeing a signal coming in. And we have a signal coming in. Beautiful. We'll test it once she gets here. But that's looking good. Obviously, I need to make sure that she can hear herself or the line that's being delivered. So I will check my outputs in just a moment. And then the last thing we need to make sure that we have that really, really helps our talent really get into the groove of things is a 3-pop. And I'm sure most of you all might have heard the term. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm just kind of talking. But for those of you that don't know, a 3-pop is a series of, I guess, essentially beeps that give the talent kind of a 3-second countdown before they are expected to deliver their dialogue. So what we want to do, I thought I had one already created, but I do. Nope, did not mean to do that. Let's undo you. Yep, so I already do have a 3-pop track created. It is right here. This is 3-pop. And on here, I'll show you exactly what I'm referring to. So we have this clip. Go ahead and activate you. That serves as our countdown. Once the actress hears that countdown and it gets to 3, 2, 1, they know that that is when they should start talking. Let us hear that beautiful voice of theirs. Now, one thing to keep in mind for any ADR voiceover editors that are working in Pro Tools or doing these types of recordings, I guess particularly when you're using Pro Tools, make sure that your recording is set to punch in, punch out, the little P is going to be in the middle of the record circle here. Um, just a quick little hack here if you are trying to get that to get to the right setting. Obviously, you can right click on there. It'll give you the menu here. You can select what you want to do, or another shortcut trick you can use with your keyboard. The control button, you just hold that down, and then you just left click on the record button. It'll change to whichever record you need it to. And so for our purposes, we're going to use our punch, and that will enable us to, when we're recording, say for instance, the actor gets a little ambitious and they start delivering their line before this 3-second countdown. What that punch is going to do, I have it set to correspond to our pre-roll and our post-roll here. It's lit up right there to capture anything that is said within this 3-second. Well, I did 3 seconds and 3 frames, but this 3-second window. If the talent does manage to say anything within this frame, it will still be recorded. Also, our post-roll takes care of anything that may occur after this clip is technically done. So usually talent doesn't be the end of what their delivery is supposed to be. So usually about 1 second is more than enough to get any kind of spillover there. But I'm sorry to kind of jump ahead. Just kind of roll back real quick. To do a 3-pop like this, what we're doing, again, essentially we're giving the talent a 3-second countdown. And so the way I have my timeline set up, it is using a time code grid. And what the time code grid does, it gives me all of my grid broken into frames, essentially. So there are 24 frames in a second, standard usually. And then, of course, you go up from there, seconds in a minute, minutes in an hour. And that's how our time code grid is set up. But in order to get our 3-pop, it's kind of a hassle to sit there and try and count 24 frames and figure out, all right, well, this is the 24th frame, and I can highlight here, and I think, no, we can switch our grid to minutes and seconds. So make things easier on yourself. Obviously, you want it to only be, well, obviously to me, not obvious to you, but you only want the pop to be 1 frame long. It has to be quick, just to get people, get talent's attention. So when you have your grid in time code mode, just like I did here, you want to just highlight 1 frame because that's the entire length that you want. And when you do that, you go and there is a keyboard shortcut. It is, I believe, Control, Option, Shift, and the number 3. You hit all those and it will create this beautiful tone. I'm sure most of you have probably heard, if there is somebody on national television that says a swear, they will usually bleep them out, and that is just a shorter version of the bleep that you would put on somebody. So yeah, you do your control option shift number 3 right on a single frame, and it will create that beep for you. And once you create that beep, you can just go ahead and duplicate that a couple of times so you get 3 of them, nice and pretty right there. Once you have all 3, you want to go ahead and switch your grid over to your minutes and seconds. That way you have an exact lineup of the number of seconds needed to create this 3 pop. You line everything up like that. Make sure you got all. And keep in mind that when you're doing 3 seconds, this is from the start of the second to the end of the second as 1 second. When you're going forward and you highlight the second beat, that is 2 seconds. Some people will accidentally go in and just finish their highlighting at just that and thinking that'll create 3 pop, not remembering to finish out the entire second. So remember, when you're doing this, go ahead and get the last of that second there. When you have everything highlighted, you want to do another empty clip, and remember that is for your Mac users, option shift and the number 3. For Windows users, that is alt shift and the number 3, and that will give you a nice 3 pop. But since I already have one, let's get this out of here, get this out of here, get this out of here, get this out of here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, though. All right, we'll go back to our time code. And now that we have our 3 pop, now that we have Scout all set and marked up, we know what she's going to be working on today. We'll go ahead and get our 3 pop all the way back to our starting point back here. So that would be our first line way back here at the cafe. Yeah, because it looks like everything else before that, Scout has been inside. I think that's all right. Oh, I really should check. That's the only thing that kind of irks me. I gotta make sure my system is up and running because I need to hear what I need to hear. But aside from that, yeah, it looks like most of what Scout is going to be delivering is all of her exterior lines. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get ourselves set up here. We're going to highlight our first line that she's going to be delivering. And we're going to go ahead and find our 3 pop here. And we're just going to line that up to the beginning. The tail of our 3 pop is going to line up to the beginning of that first clip. And if you want to know the little hack to do that pretty quick and painlessly, all you do, like I said, just highlight your clip here so that our 3 pop knows where to go. Then you find your 3 pop and hold down the control and the I guess it would be the command key for Mac users. I suppose it'd be the Windows key for Windows users. Hold those 2 buttons down, and then you left click on your 3 pop. and that will line the end point of your 3-pop to the starting point of your clip that you intend to record. So that way, when you're all set up and you're ready for your talent to get ready to start delivering their dialogue, it's all lined up. And we're good to go. Now, the question is, why is Scout not being heard? Ah, ha ha ha, silly me. One thing to remember when you're trying to get your session set, if you do a option click on anything to affect all, that will also affect your routing. So just be careful of that. Just like I threw myself off, couldn't figure out why I can't hear Scout. I can hear my 3-pop. That's why. Simple solution.
There's a line.
I saw you at.
Simple solution to simple problems. Oh, that is rough. Let's see. Now, let's doubly make sure. This is matching the active output. Well, let me double check that real quick. Make sure my I/O is also working. Mapped to output 7 and 8, but I don't want it to map to output 7 and 8. Other things to constantly check and be aware of while you're working in Pro Tools. So, I want to say well, I want to say I should have checked my stuff before I started streaming, but that's neither here nor there. Either way, let's see. So I need to check and make sure. Where you want. Yeah, why you weren't active. And how I can prevent that from happening again.
There's a line.
I saw you at.
Yeah.
There's a line.
I saw you at.
Well, yeah. Either way, man, that is rough. That is rough.
Here's the line.
My goodness. Yeah, we gotta do something about that. All right, so uh that was about all I had for today. Just trying to make sure that our talent can come in and know what we need to go through and work on, and make sure we are very uh, respectful of her time. So yeah, uh, thanks for watching. Hopefully you got something out of it, and yeah, we will continue working on, man, this monster of a movie. The sound guy working on a feature. So thanks for watching.